Hello, everyone. Too many systems, way too much content. On an average, an employee wastes about 20% of their time just trying to find and search for content. There's just way too much out there. It's just not possible for them to be able to keep up with it. The traditional way of discovering content, the hallway conversation, that doesn't scale. Not when you're in different floors in a building, not when you're in different buildings, not when you're geographically dispersed. It just doesn't work. And as the HBR report says, you actually lose money doing that. And how does that happen? If you're using only 30% of the information that is available, then sales teams are using outdated playbooks. They have information that's 6 months old. They use forms that are old, and it's really hard to keep up with that. Service teams take about 3 times longer just to service calls, and so you really cannot maintain the SLAs unless you start adding cost to that. Professionals keep reinventing the wheel. Marketing creates a report, it gets out there, it's shared once, no one can find it, 6 months later, you need it again, you recreate it. In other words, corporate assets have become liabilities. So what does Kaybus do? Kaybus takes enterprise content, which by its nature is impersonal, and makes it personal. What does that mean? An enterprise search, which is what the normal solution everyone tries to implement, just gives you a set of results which is common to everyone. That really doesn't work. The exact same question that a person is asking depends on their function and their group, and that's what they need the results for. For example, if you're searching for a bug, if you're in customer service, you want to know what's the ETA of a fix, who is actually affected. If you're in engineering, you want to know what the discussion is, who's been working on this, how do I get more information? So what we do in Kaybus is we actually match the content to an employee. This helps you get to the information much, much faster because it's actually relevant. We already do this in the consumer side. When you go to Amazon, you go to Spotify, we know who you are. But that doesn't happen in the enterprise space. Everyone is exactly the same. That's what we do. The most common way that everyone tries to get into this is by saying, okay, we'll replace everything that you have today. That doesn't work either because you already built policies, you have applications that you need to embed into, and you need to get your ROI on what you've already got. So when we come in, we actually provide value from the moment you come in. So how do we do this? We create a single source of truth. We morph, we match, and we measure. By morph, we take every asset, we create a unique profile for it. And then from that, we can match against what a user is doing and using. It's got nothing to do with personal information. And when we say we morph and match, we can take any type of content. It doesn't matter. It can be a Word document, can be an Excel spreadsheet, can be a Jira ticket, it can be a video. And then we measure, which shows what your actual returns are. What is everyone using? What are they searching for that you don't have in your system? Let me show you a quick demo of some of our capabilities, which will give you some idea of what we have. So as you can see, these are 2 separate instances. One's William's and one is mine, and what you can see between the 2 is completely different. They're recommended for me because we actually make the recommendations that go directly back to you. But what's more interesting, let me show you a quick way of how you can actually customize and search for something. And you can create your own widget. Let's say you're looking for a production issue, and you're looking for all of the outages. You can save this as your own, it becomes your own little widget of production issues. And you can see that all the words that you're searching for are highlighted. If you click on a highlighted piece, it goes directly into that. It shows you the whole, it shows you what it is. It shows you all of the items around where you can share things. You go back to that. Can you click on the outages itself, please? And you can actually see all of the pieces that come along with that. Let me show you something which is also a little unique. You can even take in a piece of video, and you can search through the entire video piece, which says, let's just say you're searching for a series. It actually highlights it, and you can click and go directly to this. So in other words, you don't spend time searching for it and then wading through all of the content. You can share, you can add your policies, you can put everything that you want into that. You can show you the quick analytics as part of that. You can actually drill down into every system, into every category. You just go into a category. You can see how much everyone has read, what's been read, what's actually been useful, and this gives you a full analytics. In fact, even if you go into the publish piece of it, it tells you that you can actually search for whatever content that, what are people searching for that is actually missing from inside the system. Let's switch back to the deck. In other words, we morph, we match, and we measure. So what does that mean to all of you who are cable operators? Sorry. We can make sales professionals more effective. The fastest growing segment, for all of you is on the commercial side of it. And if you're trying to sell, if you have salespeople inside Salesforce trying to sell something, you want them to stay inside Salesforce. We can provide opportunity-specific information that goes in there. They'll have the latest information. They have the latest competitive information that they need to go out and do. They'll have the latest documentation that's required to respond to an RFP. Because typically they would use something which is 6 months old, and you go back, you apply for it, and they come back and they say, once again, you're using an old form. You can eliminate all of those. You can maintain your support SLAs without increasing costs, because the only way you can maintain an SLA is if either you're doing it much faster or you add more resources. We believe that making it faster is a much better alternative. You can ensure that the relevant information gets to all of the employees. Whether you're in training or whether you're in marketing, you don't have to worry about whether they have outdated information or whether they have the latest and which version they have, because that's the problem which you find inside Dropbox. So we are Kaybus. Thank you very much.